There's no words there to play us out. What does that mean? Sorry. Hi, everybody. Steve Dangle here. It's great to see you. Welcome to another episode of Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. We got some special stuff. Last week, the Leafs outshot the Montreal Canadiens 1 billion to, I think it was 8. And the Leafs lost. But since then, Leafs have been on some kind of heater. Game against the Florida Panthers, the number 1 team in the division. Nasty game. 1. Game in Boston against the Bruins. Nasty game. Big playoff implications. 1. Game against the Winnipeg Jets that you have to win for my feelings because the Jets ran the Leafs show and played dirty. Leafs played dirty right back. Last time they played in early December, Leafs with the comeback, and they don't take any crap. 1. But what makes today special? First of all, it's the first time the Leafs have played a Giroux-less Philadelphia Flyers team, as in he is not part of the organization. I'm sure he was injured or something. No Yandel for Philly. We'll probably get into that later. And you're going to see the return of Jack Campbell. Woo! The return of Jack Campbell. He is the starting goalie tonight. And the first NHL game of Nick Abruzzesi's career. Played for the American Olympic team. 4th round pick as an overager a couple of years ago. I didn't know this. Kevin Papetti on Twitter. He's a great stats Twitter account, Leafs Twitter account, a bunch of different types of Twitter account. Years ago, the Toronto Maple Leafs traded Nikita Soshnikov to the St. Louis Blues for a 4th round pick. They picked Nick Abruzzesi with that 4th round pick. I did not know that. I'm on the internet. I know the chat is going to say it. My nose is so pink and agitated. I either have a cold. No, it's not COVID. Shut up. Or allergies. I'm pretty sure it's allergies. If it was COVID, you wouldn't know. I did a stream with COVID. Do you remember which one? No, you don't, because I never told you. Leafs, Flyers. Going to start in a moment. We have your questions. Justin asks score predictions. Well, I mean, taking the under seems dumb, right? At this rate. Like, but they're due. They're due for an under. Man, the Flyers have no choice but to bring it in this one because Keith Yandel's Iron Man streak is coming to an end, and whoever is taking his spot in the lineup has to show it was for a good reason. You know? I'm going to say 3-2. Leafs win 3-2. Walter, how confident are you in Campbell? Do you think he's fully recovered? To answer the second question first, I do think Campbell is fully recovered. There's no reason to rush him back. Well, there is one reason. The Leafs don't really have any goalies, but that's not true. They have Eric Källgren, who's played perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. And Michael Hutchinson is the backup. I know Leaf fans, are a bit scarred by that name. Relax. He's played NHL games. He's played them this year. He's not going to play in the playoffs. Relax. It's okay. I think the Leafs could have probably started Campbell on Thursday and opted not to do that, and it was probably the right move. Ronnie Attard, by the way, I'm just looking at the Flyers Twitter account, from Western Michigan. It looks like he's going to play in his first NHL game. Or if it's not his first NHL game, it's his first game in Philly. Good for him. Got a couple firsts, right? So there's going to be a good mood in the air. It's not, I don't know. What are the Flyers playing for? You know what I mean? They're playing for pride. So you can't take teams for granted in these sort of scenarios. I think it'll be fun. Ashley, how confident am I in Campbell? I left that one behind. I guess we'll see. You know what? Peter Mrazek did get hurt, obviously. Prior to him getting hurt, he played 2 really good games. 2 games that I would have thought was impossible for him to play based on the way that he played prior to getting a little sit down and Eric Källgren got a bit of the net. If he was able to crawl out of those depths to give 2 solid starts to the team, and it looked like he was going to continue to be fine before he got hurt, I'm confident Jack Campbell can be hurt, or can be, oh my God, can be good. I seen a lot of Jack Campbell slander that doesn't make any sense. You know, what if he's just not a starter in this league? And, you know, his resume, he was great last year, the whole year. He was great this year. He was an all-star. And they said he had a rib injury a week before he actually left the lineup. Call me skeptical. I'm not sure I believe that. I think he had it for a lot longer. Because hockey players are out of their minds. Leafs Flyers starting in a minute here. Ashley says, did you make the playoffs in fantasy? Yes, I did. And I will be promptly ejected in the first round. Kind of, ha, 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 ha. Shut up. Mike, across all channels, what's been your favorite video you've ever made? The most fulfilling. Oh, man. This is going to take a while. This is a cop-out answer. Our playoff streams from last year were special, man. They were special. They were a great idea. I didn't expect to do them for every game. We did. They started in a way that we never expected. 10 minutes in, we get the Tavares injury. I'm not talking about that as a favorite, obviously. I'm talking about that as like I remember as soon as that happened, I'm like, well, we're going to know if we're able to do these streams or not by the end of this game. Because, I didn't even know how we were going to get through that segment. And after that, game 2, 3, 4, even 5, 6, 7. 7 was the only boring one, really. Game 5 and 6, those were awesome. Even though I didn't like the ending. Those were fun. Those were really fulfilling. Being able to do Habs Vegas and have people not hate my guts as a Leaf fan, that was good. Stanley Cup Final, that was fun. We've had a few really fun games this year. I made a video with Nike years ago with Alexandre Bilodeau, who's a gold medalist for Canada in moguls. And in that video, we drove a gold Cadillac convertible by a gourmet hot dog stand called Japadog. That was silly. Really enjoyed that. Podcast. We've had a number of hockey guests on, but we also, leading into WrestleMania, had Edge, the Rated R Superstar, on our show. That was ridiculous. That was silly. We should get him on again soon. Adam Copeland. Also Eric Young. Eric Young, OG listener. Leaf/Predators fan. Sorry. Oh, man. I'm going to be tearing up all show, I think. It's not because I'm emotional. It's allergies. Nick says, how's Leo? Leo is great. My son is great. Do you see that? It's 100,000% best dad. And that's Willie Styles sticker. Leo's the best. He made me this. It's art. It's called art. We have the game coming up. Leo is my son, by the way, for those of you who don't know. Not everyone knows. And Max says, what are your feelings about Abruzzese? I guess we'll see. Carter Hart versus Jack Campbell tonight. Wayne trained back in Philly. That's cool. Abrazizi, I mean, he's got to have all the emotions tonight. His family's there. I believe his parents and sister, I think I read. There are concerns about his size. He's 5'9" and $160. That would make him among the shorter players in the league and definitely among the lighter players in the league. Like, we're talking Tyler Ennis stature here as the big line starts. But he's been underrated thing about college guys is they're playing against men. Like, they're playing against grown-ups. So he made the Olympic team, the American Olympic team, by being so good against grown-ups. Oh, man. Jack makes the first save. Hooray. Ilya Lyubushkin back in the lineup, by the way. I didn't know that. He got his bell rung by Taylor Hall in that game against the Bruins. Sorry, did I say bell rung? I meant he got his collar grabbed. You watching, George? I'm in your kitchen, Barrows! Woo! Anyway.
Olympian who is playing in his second game for Philadelphia. So Kate's playing against an Olympic teammate in Nick
Leaf fans,
who will make his Leaf debut in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, interesting.
This is very important.
Watson, who we thought would maybe get his fifth game for the Philadelphia
First goal last game. Blake Wheeler scored. Not going to say how he scored it. All I'm going to say is we like Mark Giordano very much, and he scored the Leafs' first goal of the game in that game. And as a favor to Mark, who's a new Leaf, and we're hoping resigns here, we're going to forget that Blake Wheeler goal ever happened, right? That's what we're going to do. Ronnie Attard, by the way, I think is one of the guys getting in the lineup now that Keith Yandle is out. So about Keith Yandle, if the Flyers just said, screw it, we're not letting you extend your Ironman streak, we're not letting you get to 1,000 games played consecutively, because his Ironman streak, his Ironman streak is at 989. Needs 11 games to hit 1,000, and the Flyers have 14 games left, so they could afford to let him do it. But Kessel's going to pass him next year, which everyone's saying, oh my God, what? What? Preposterous!
Well, coming off a rib injury,
Preposterous!
think, okay, what's the mobility?
I was like, oh, he's out of position. Look at this. Look at this.
They let him percolate and be absolutely ready to be back and playing. And here,
I think it was going wide. Whatever. Jack Defer.
First shot made the blocker save.
Jackvid. Jackvid. That might have been going in. Holy. Looky what I found.
Something come back, and he clearly looks ready to go.
Colin Blackwell wins the draw. Nick Abrazizi has his first touch. Tried to get it across for Blackwell.
I don't remember what I was talking about, do you?
Into the Philadelphia zone.
I don't remember what I was talking about at all. Oh, Keith Yandle.
Has a word as he peeled off, and now Simmons, the former Flyer, knocked
anyway,
out.
Phil Kessel's probably going to break his Ironman streak.
Bumped in by Thompson. Hall across,
and
got room to steer it back in deep. And his first
I mean, what's the point? Like, okay, would Keith Yandle have been a healthy scratch earlier in the season were it not for his Ironman streak? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm hoping he was a part of this decision to get the Flyers kids in the lineup.
Now it comes back to the line for Travis Sanheim.
Because, like, I'm sure any Leafs fan, Red Wings fan will tell you, like, the Babcock-Modano thing, like, that hung over that organization. And it was a similar defense, right? Babcock's like, well, I'm trying to ice the best lineup I can, and that didn't have Mike Modano in it that night. Puck goes over the glass.
You know, all the things that go
But
through
1,499 games played, sitting on that.
Get your very first game, and before the game, looking out.
Little different than this Iron Man streak.
Get focused. Okay, what am I going to do on my first?
There's Nick Abruzzesi's first touch of an NHL puck. Good defensive play in the neutral zone. Takes a hit from another guy playing in his first NHL game. That's pretty cool. Let's go, buddy. I didn't know he was Harvard's captain. I knew he was doing very well for them. I didn't know he was their captain. Drafted as an overager, I believe. I should look up his pick. Abruzzesi. You have my permission that if you don't know how to spell his name and like he scores a goal or does something really cool, if you need to talk about him in the chat or tweet, just put this emoji. This. I'm half Italian, so that means you're half allowed to make that joke. Is that how that works? Oh, very interesting. So Abruzzesi. Oh, never mind. Here come the Leafs on the rush. Engvall, rebound. Stop by Hart.
On the first shot of the game.
We got a whistle. Woo! You know, there was a lot made of. Oh, is it in his equipment? There was a lot made of Willie's demotion to the third line. They look pretty good. The second line doesn't look bad either, and I keep forgetting the Leafs. You know, these 3 big wins that they just had in a row. All of them without Kasha.
So David Camp on this face-off against Patrick Brown.
Allergies, baby. Let's go.
Philadelphia, pretty good face-off team, ranked 6th in the league. The Leafs continue to lead in that category.
Sick, dope. Here's Willie.
Off the side of the net, a 3-point game against Winnipeg for number 88.
What's gotten into Engvall, eh?
Back, Morgan Riley played it to the net. Off Camp, and it's retrieved by Engvall.
The Leafs have gotten something that they sorely could have used from other players in years past. It's amazing how many guys have gotten better throughout the season, just as the season's progressed. Engvall, big time among them. Timothy Liljegren, big time among them. Here comes a... Oh, no! Blackwell was looking for Abruzzesi, and there's no way he's passing that. That was almost a sick play by the Flyers. I'm so upset! I wanted that moment. Boo! Who got the stick in there with the good defensive play? You ruiner of fun. Why are you the way that you are? Boo!
In November, the Leafs like Philadelphia here at Wells Fargo.
Here they come again.
Now back the other way comes Hayes on
Man,
the right side, and
last game the Leafs needed the big boy line of Spezza, Simmons, Clifford. But I like me some Colin Blackwell. That's a good player.
Apparently feeling better and probably not wanting to miss a game here on Hockey Night in Canada against the Leafs.
Who was that?
Marner
Giordano laying it all on the line.
Marner with a great pass to Bunting out at center along with Matthews, and going to call that offside at the line.
I wanted that to be a goal really bad.
Bunting gets a follow-up reaction from his center, Austin Matthews.
Well, Morgan Riley having a look at the tablet there, see if you mentioned trying to wait maybe to get Engvall to tip. Engvall not quite ready to get there as it went through, and watch the good second effort.
This was a nifty play by the Flyers. Whoa, I think Justin Hall gets that. Thank goodness, he would have looked ridiculous. Mark Giordano almost getting it in not such a great spot.
Take away any dangerous threat.
Mark Giordano, who scored his 150th career goal.
I think this coffin fit's just about over. Just as well, we're probably going to go to break soon. Unless, I don't know, we might go like 15 minutes without a whistle here.
Liljegren across. Marner unable to send that in, and Sanheim plays it back into the zone.
Nick Abruzzesi. So again, unless never mind, here comes the top line going to work.
Plays it for Labushkin. Tried to give it back to Matthews. Number 34 plays in his 200th road game tonight. Here comes Campbell.
The Flyers look pretty dangerous tonight.
It's loose in front, and Campbell will make the stop.
Steve said, as Jack Campbell had to make a big save. All right, we're about to take our first commercial break. When we come back, a 0-0 game between the Leafs and Flyers. This is Watch the Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle, and we'll be right back. Watch the Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. 0-0. Leafs taking on the Philadelphia Flyers in Philly. Nick Abruzzesi's first NHL game. So, off the top, I mentioned that Nick Abruzzesi was drafted in the 4th round of the 2019 NHL draft. The Leafs got his pick by making a trade with the St. Louis Blues. The Leafs sent Nikita Soshnikov to the Blues in exchange for this 4th round pick. I don't know if you remember this. St. Louis Blues won the Cup that year. So because of that, their 4th round pick was the last pick of the 4th round. So 124th overall, last pick of the 4th round, the Leafs get Nick Abruzzesi. He's making his NHL debut tonight.
50-goal man, Wayne Gretzky scored 50 and 39, and number 50 went into an empty net. They all count. Absolutely.
He's the second Toronto Maple Leaf selected in the 2019 draft to make their NHL debut. The other one? Nick Robertson, 2nd round, 53rd overall. That draft was in Vancouver. I was there. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't think he felt the team's been very sharp here early on. A few too many times in their own.
Actually, I believe that was our last in-person draft, wasn't it?
Make a couple of good saves. He spent the entire time talking to his group.
Wait.
Not yelling or screaming, just directing. No. See if they get a little bit sharper here.
Kyle mentioned the
that was forever ago.
With the
wow.
76ers, so the Leafs did.
Sorry, that was me making that realization in real time. I was at the last in-person draft, and it was the one in Vancouver. Are you serious?
Just a little bit different to the routine.
Man, it's been a while. As Jack Campbell gobbles that up, he's looked good so far. Doesn't look too squirrely. There was that one moment. Makes a good glove save.
Casino games perfectly made for you.
You're at game number 68, and as a head coach, you know your team. You know when they're feeling good and they're making the right reads.
Another player from the.
I think often then you just leave them alone and let them.
God, Sheldon Keefe's ridiculous. Another player selected from the 2019 draft for the Leafs, Mikko Kokkonen, Finnish defenseman. He just signed a pro deal with the Leafs.
Wasn't a great start the other night against Winnipeg, falling behind.
He's had a cup of coffee with the Toronto Marlies previously.
Patrick Brown took that pass. It's a hand call.
And are the Flyers getting called here? What happened? Reminder, I cannot hear the broadcast, so I make a lot of fun guesses. It's a hand pass, says producer Stu. Thank you for that, producer Stu. Here comes Nick Abruzzesi on the shift where he will score his first NHL goal.
His old team, but Blackwell again
Manifest. Manifest. Look at him.
Time here. I thought he played really well.
Dude's a
Obviously
puck
in
hunter.
Boston in
I
that
like
role.
him.
Here another chance with a newcomer on his left side.
Long shoot in by Adder, who's
People say the Leafs are a small team, and then Colin Blackwell showed up.
at the NCAA level.
And then you realize the Leafs are actually at very least average team. And Colin Blackwell is very tiny. And then Nick Abruzzese says, oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Okay, good, good, good. Everything ended well. Everything ended okay.
In front of the net, and Campbell exchanging words with Cam Atkinson.
He had a little tap. Campbell's
That was, who made that poke check? Oh, boy. Colin, I told everyone I liked you. Stop that. Leafs getting outshot 7-2 by the Flyers early. It's not their greatest start, to be sure.
Face off to the right of Jack Campbell, but
Hoping they'll get it back. Their defense. I mean, one thing I'll say about the Leafs this year that differs from others is they've had to try out a ton of different combinations and a ton of different pairs out of necessity. And they've actually done pretty well in most scenarios. Oh, that's got to be a trip. It's not a trip. Okay, we're going to continue. I really thought Mitch was going to get sprung there. Ilya Lyubushkin not looking any worse for wear. His first game back, he only missed one. Woo! Get there, Johnny! Oh! He needed one more stride, and that's a goal. That's an easy goal. It's a tap-in for Johnny. Johnny Toronto. I'd say Johnny Hockey, but, you know, there's one Flames fan just patrolling this chat like, no! I knew you'd slip up, Dangle, no! You are under arrest. You do not say Johnny Hockey about anybody but Johnny Gaudreau. I'm like, all right, chill. Seems a little unnecessary. Probably the Leafs' best opportunity of the game. I just want to know why that's not a trip.
There's the conversation and explanation, and that's pretty good. I always like that from it.
I just want to know. I just want to know what the ref was explaining to Mitch.
Connor O'Donnell in
You saw it or you didn't?
Proceedings tonight with
That's
Johnny Murray and Travis Toomey on the lines.
You know,
He hit him in the shins, so it's not a trip. It's got to be like right on the skate blade. It's got to be under your blade like clear tape. Got to give you the old skate guard. I just want to know. Listen, I don't think officials are biased against the Leafs. I don't think it's a specific against the Leafs thing. I think they're just bad. And I talked about this. Sorry, dry. I talked about this on my podcast. I talked about it in the LFR video after the Jets game. The Leafs had 6 power plays to the Jets 3. And, you know, you might look at that and go, well, what do you have to complain about? What I have to complain about are the 4 or 5 obvious non-calls. The trip on Pierre Engvall in the third period, the elbow to the face / knee that Pierre-Luc Dubois put on Alexander Kerfoot, Justin Hall getting hit in the head while he was down. He was eligible to be hit. He had the puck. He was not eligible to be hit in the head. Michael Bunting getting cross-checked in the back of the head. No, it wasn't like Matthews Dahlin, but, you know. Oh, his stick rode up his back. Who cares? Who cares? Be responsible for your stick. I don't care. And the point I was trying to make is even though the Leafs had double the power plays that the Jets did, they should have had more. But this league, yeah, oh, that's the trip. That's the trip. Good job. Good job. Good job.
First penalty will go against Toronto.
Sick league. Good job.
Will get the key. We'll see Philadelphia on the power play when we come back to Wells Fargo.
The point, I mean, that's kind of poetic, isn't it? In the middle of what I'm saying. The point is by not giving penalties to teams that are losing or have taken more penalties, it's not that you would be giving the Leafs an unfair advantage. You're giving the Jets an unfair advantage. You're giving the crappier team who's taking too many penalties an unfair advantage. And this would be true if the Leafs were doing it to another team, right? So the Leafs have taken 6 penalties to the other team's 3. And the Leafs continue to cross-checking in front of the net. They're hooking at guys and slashing at hands. But the penalties are 6-3, so I don't want to call it. You would be artificially helping the Leafs. And I know that's the way it's always been. But at what point do we change that? At what point is that wrong? Dude, the Tim Peel controversy from last year, where I still don't think he should have been fired, by the way. He was literally just doing like what he was told. It's that he got caught saying the silent part out loud on mic, giving a makeup call. He was wearing a mic and he said, I wanted to give a penalty to Nashville. Because he had either missed one or the team they were playing, was it Detroit? Had an advantage in the penalty category. So we're talking about an NHL official looking to give a team the next penalty. Like, so when we talk about makeup calls, right? You tell me which team has the unfair advantage. When a ref is, so there's a red team and a blue team. Okay. And the ref is actively looking to give the red team a penalty. I wonder who has the advantage. No, but it's all about fairness, right? How does that make any sense? It's counterintuitive, which is a multi-syllabic way of saying dumb.
He sends it wide to the target. Van Riemsdyk's out there. There's Frost with it. Cam Atkinson also.
Flyers on the power play for a penalty that should have been a penalty. That's how it should go. Oh! Leafs penalty kill has been something, man. They got a shorty last game. Ilya Mikheyev. Pierre Engvall getting smushed like a bug. Took a hit to make a play. And Mikheyev continues to be red hot. That ended up being the insurance marker. Mark Scheifele on the back check, skating at the speed of smell. I don't remember which comedian I heard that from, but it's the best way to describe that back check. If Mark Scheifele's name was William Nylander, he would have been carved for that goal. But instead, it's just that's a regular Thursday.
Well, they are the league leaders in shorthanded goals with 11.
Leafs hold the line pretty good. 55 seconds left in this kill. David Campbell. What an unbelievable addition he's been to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Look at this. Look at this. How is their penalty kill so lethal offensively? It's so bizarre for a team that has not recently, but they have struggled to hold on to leads. It's so weird that their penalty kill is so unreal. It's really good. The puck often stays out of their net, not always, but they're a constant offensive threat. And again, I can't hear the broadcast, but I believe the Leafs lead the league in shorthanded goals with 11, and this might be 12. Oh, great opportunity again. The tandem of Engvall and Mikheyev. I love those two together. Oh, wow. Small margin of error there. Campbell with the save. The Flyers with a good keep, though. 10 seconds to go, but the Leafs are all over the place. Oh, Giordano calming it down. And you got a guy. You got a guy. Is that going to be ice? No, he got rid of it just in time. Shoo! Good kill. Good kill, and almost had another one. That duo of Mikheyev and Engvall, man. Two of the tallest Leafs and two of the fastest. I love that they've both turned into legitimate offensive threats, because that was sorely missing from this team. They were always fast. They always obviously were big. Could take a hit. But man, just hands of either granite or noodle. I couldn't tell you. Just, whoa, okay. Russian Bear stays on his paws. Nice. Uh-oh. Tape-to-tape pass to the Flyers. He didn't realize Mitch was changing. Here they come. And crisis averted. Willie, you got to get out of there, bud. I think that was Riley. The Leafs are really playing fast and loose tonight.
Shots 8-4 Flyers.
Kind of hard to get a read of this team. There's been a lot of action in the game despite the fact that it's 0-0. Haven't been able to look down at the chat for questions in quite some time. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Get in there.
David Camp behind the cage. Watched there by
Ooh, Engvall got bopped. Please tell me he's getting up. Please tell me he's getting up. Please tell me he's getting up. That dude has turned into such an important player for this team. Yeah, he's on the bench now. Oh boy. I didn't see who that was who stood him up, but he was waiting there for when Engvall turned around, and it didn't look like it tickled. I don't see anyone going down the tunnel.
Scooping it deep. Tavares, Mikheyev, and Kerfoot. Tavares on a 4-game point streak.
Almost looked to me like Engvall got the wind knocked out of him the way he got hit. He just pointed to his Leaf crest there to his trainer.
Bubbly asked, what are your thoughts about Giroux getting traded? I mean, couldn't have happened much better, like in a better way, could it have? He got to play his 1,000th game as a Flyer. Hold the ceremony. It was also like a goodbye. I think that was offside. And, I mean, the Flyers are going nowhere in a hurry. Here's that hit on Engvall. Turns around and... I think that was Justin Hayes. Kevin Hayes. Sorry. I have a friend named Justin Hayes. My bad. I've been doing that with Matthew Nyes recently. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Yeah, Claude Giroux, I mean, the Flyers are going nowhere in a hurry. And they're rebuilding. Claude Giroux needs his cup. Got a chance. Didn't work out. Now he gets to go to Florida. And I mean, Claude Giroux at the deadline, I don't know what the numbers are now, but at the deadline, Claude Giroux got traded to the #1 offense in the league. That's unfair. That's absolutely ridiculous. And the Panthers, who have not played their best hockey of late, if we're being honest, still have a pretty comfortable lead in the Atlantic Division. They were losing. I don't know if you saw the game, by the way, but the Devils, the New Jersey Devils, were up 6-2 on the Panthers. 6-2. Like the Leafs were leading the Red Wings, and the Panthers came all the way back. Came all the way back, and they won that thing 7-6 in overtime. New Jersey. God, they need a save. They can score now. They can score now. Their problem used to be everything. Now it's keeping the puck out of the net for the love of God. German asks, will Matthews hit 60? Okay. So I don't want to be disrespectful to the Philadelphia Flyers, but the Leafs schedule for the next little while is against some really good teams. And the Flyers ain't one of them, at least according to the standings. Who do they got for the rest of April? So this is the first game of April. Tampa, Florida, Dallas is in a dogfight. Montreal, Buffalo, Washington in the playoffs. Ottawa, Islanders have been better. They got the Flyers again. Tampa, Florida, Washington, Detroit, Boston. Uh-oh. Good stick, Mitch. Very good stick from Mitch Marner. Good save from Campbell. I missed the tap. There's the tap. Anyway, I bring that up for a reason. It's going to be difficult for Matthews to hit 60.
Like I've never seen that kind of.
And you got to look for, that was almost a dang it. You got to look for, oh my gosh, that bounce in front.
Pick it up out of the corner of his eye, right in the middle stanchion there that gentleman is looking at going, man, that almost cost a goal. Yep. They were putting those doors on.
Philly's best and brightest working on the glass.
Game, and you wonder whether it's not quite as
anyway,
as it should be.
It's going to be difficult for him to hit 60.
Typically, whatever happens.
He's got some really good teams in there. So you look at the schedule for soft targets. No offense to the Philadelphia Flyers, who have played pretty well so far tonight, but you look at the games on the schedule, and you're like, how can Matthews score 60? They got 2 games against the Flyers. This is one of them. You probably pencil him in for a goal. There he is right there. He can't go looking for it, though. I think last game he was looking for it, and he struggled. Just be you, man. You're Austin Matthews. You'll get there. What is going on in front with Mitch Marner? He almost got a high stick there. Bunting to Mitch! Mitch wide. I like that, though. Get in front there, Austin. Get in front. What a pass! Willie gets it. Surprised he made that pass. Here he comes. Phew! Get in! Yeah! No! I need Matthews to score in this shift after I said what I said. I need it to happen. Whistle. That's probably the Leafs' best shift of the game so far. All over the Flyers. All over them.
He just stays with Matthews. Look at 49 there trying
to
get a stick.
Here it was. Yeah! Oh, if he gets his stick on that, man. Real close. Real close. Ooh. Someone tell Austin wipe his nose.
Man on man, whether you're supposed to or not. I think he was just trying to survive the shift, make sure he didn't get scored on.
First big push by the Leafs, and now John Tavares.
Speaking of wipe their nose. Oh my God. You ever have a sneeze go back in? That's the worst.
Off the boards and fired down. No icing.
You know what confuses me the most about these streams? Like, I've never seen Ron McLean sneeze. Think about that. How old are you? Like, how long have you been watching Ron McLean? Like, you've probably been watching him all your life. Have you ever seen him sneeze? Think about it. You ever seen him sneeze? What did it look like? You've never seen him sneeze. What? Have you ever seen any TV host ever sneeze? It's conspiracy. Media, they're all robots, man. You ever seen a robot sneeze? Technically, you didn't see me sneeze. I'm just talking about fighting the urge to sneeze. Here comes Ilya Mikheyev, who is the best player in the world. Or at least decided he is recently. Carter Hart gobbles that up. With a $1:43 to go in the first period. Leafs get their first whistle. I hate to say it, and I don't think the game will remain this way, because remember, it's the first period. But the Leafs and Panthers, spirited affair. Playoff implications means a lot. Leafs and Bruins, spirited affair. Playoff implications means a lot. Leafs and Jets, spirited affair. Revenge match. Playoff implications for the Jets for sure. This game, you can sort of tell neither team is as engaged as they would be in those games. I'm not going to say they don't care. I mean, they obviously care. Good play by Riley. Leafs have been a little scrambly tonight. But Jack Campbell has made some really good saves through traffic. I love the tap. I forgot about the tap. There's JVR. Chewing the green mouthpiece as always.
Now there's classic coaching of just trying to get a shift in for your fourth line. Now you get a defensive zone and quickly before.
Listen, I know his contract's a bit of a nightmare, but I miss him.
Ice time management always.
If you don't miss JVR, you're wrong.
getting a fourth line in offensive zone gives them a chance to have.
It's like saying you don't miss Hyman. Whose contract? That's not what I asked you. Forget the money. Not even yours. Oh! How did that not go in? That's a gift. That's a gift from the hockey gods, Leafs. You can't throw this away.
Turned his head and saw that his D-man was sneaking down. He just barely got there to make the
Oh, Justin, get in there. Oh, my gosh. The Flyers are handing the Leafs some gifts. They should have 2 goals in this shift alone. Definitely one.
Off the skate to Cates and Matthews back.
Here comes the top line.
Bunting off his skates and it wide.
Oh, Austin!
And that's picked off and cleared by Cates.
Oh, Jack.
Cates again, finding himself.
If you're a goaltender.
That was a great play coming back to the net.
He was in the bottom 6 to start his first game in Minnesota. He is a Minnesota native.
20 seconds to go in this period.
So
wouldn't rule out a goal. Here come the Flyers again. Here they come again. Oh my goodness! How did he keep that out? Was that the side of the net or his glove?
And it will drain to end the first period, but a
well,
scare for Jack Campbell and company.
Sheldon Keefe with some things he can point to during intermission. Oh, he hits the side of the net. Look at this.
Konechny, as you mentioned, had been sick, maybe not going to play.
Oh man. Travis Konechny
that shot, Konechny can't believe he missed it.
Came very close to putting the Flyers up 1-0, but we head to first intermission. Leafs, Flyers, 0-0 score. I would not count on it staying that way based on that period because we have got some sloppy, what are either of us doing here, hockey. Wow. Ooh, okay. Well, again, Flyers with a bit of a lack of motivation. Leafs with a bit of a lack of motivation coming into this game. It's difficult to artificially motivate yourself. The Jets, Leafs didn't have to psych themselves up for the Jets. I don't think Sheldon Keefe had to say anything to get the Leafs excited for the Jets for that rematch. This one against Philly, but I think Sheldon's going to, I don't know about tear the paint off the wall, but I think he's going to have some, let's go with feedback. I think he's going to have some feedback for the team there at intermission. Ooh, okay. One question before we get to some original content here. Tony, how do you feel about Trevor Zegras? Is he changing the NHL? He's definitely part of the change around the NHL. He's made Michigan goals normal. The first time he scored one, everyone lost their mind. The first time Svechnikov scored one, they lost their mind for much longer. But there was a goal last night, and I didn't know until this morning. And then what was going around today was Tyson Nash, former NHL player. He's on the play-by-play team for the Arizona Coyotes. At the end of the game, I think it was Zegras poked at the puck. Jay Beagle went after him. Troy Terry comes in to defend his guy. Still has his gloves on. Beagle drops his gloves and beats the brakes off him. There's pictures out there of what Troy Terry's face looks like today. It is not how it looked yesterday. And basically there were some people talking about like, well, that's what happens. And Twitter is a great way to share content, great way to share videos, share information. It is a horrible, genuinely horrible place for, well, I could have just stopped it there, but it's a horrible place for nuanced conversation. So, because, everyone was talking about the Michigan goal and it belongs in the game and skill belongs in the game. And how dare you say that Trevor Zegras or Troy Terry should get beat up because they scored a fantastic goal. That's not why Jay Beagle started that fight. Jay Beagle started that fight because his goalie got poked. But Twitter's 280 characters and everyone just freaks out. And I got in there and I didn't know all of that when I started tweeting about it. I was just talking about Tyson Nash and what he said. And all of a sudden it's an attack on Jay Beagle's career. And it's a mess. And I just feel like it takes away from the conversation that we should be having. Hockey is the most skilled it's ever been. And I always talk about this in Steve's hat picks. Like between the leg goals, like the ones that Matthew Tkachuk scores all the time, those are kind of run of the mill now. Like everyone can do them. Tyler Mott got a good one. Roman Josi had one, I think, recently. Between the leg passes. Before you know it, everyone's going to be able to do the Michigan. Someone's going to do the Zorro thing that Trevor Zegras did at the skills competition. Someone's going to do that mid-game in a playoff game. What? I saw some people say, well, Zegras would never do that in a playoff game. Well, first of all, the Ducks have to make the playoffs. Yuck, yuck, yuck. But that was a goal in the first period to give his team a 3-goal lead, which in 2022, 3-goal leads burn to ash every 5 seconds. Did you see the Oilers Blues yesterday? Yeah, of course he would try that in the playoffs. He didn't do it because he was like, look at me. He did that because he has a skill set that other people don't have. And he's like, here's how I can score. Other players don't have that skill. And they look at that scenario and they're like, all right, I'm going to have to skate this around the net. I'm going to have to either pass to the point or drop it behind me, or I could throw it in front and hope for a bounce. Trevor Zegras doesn't have to do that. He's better at hockey than you. He's better at hockey than me. He's better at hockey than most players in the NHL, frankly. He's definitely got more skill than most of them. He's a rookie. He's going to get better. We don't have to give him the crown yet, for goodness sake. He's definitely not even going to win the Calder. But as a revolutionary player, I can't wait to watch the rest of this player's career. All right. That's enough of my diatribe here. We're going to take a quick break. We have some Sportsnet original content. Hey, Berkey. We'll be right back with Watch the Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click subscribe. Click like. Did that in reverse order. Tell all your friends. I'll see you soon.
Both guys 5 each for fighting!
Gentlemen, what will you be having tonight?
New York strip, medium, double potatoes, no veggies. Horseradish on the side.
Mine's going to be a little easier. I'll just have the lentil stew, and if you have something hot to throw in there, bless you.
Really?
Why would you eat that?
Oh, it's delicious. And good for you too, Brian.
That's prison food.
Consider me incarcerated.
Will do. Your orders will be out shortly.
You've signed some big name players in your day, and it's pretty impressive. Like the list includes, but is not exclusive to, Trevor Linden, Scott Niedermayer, Chris Pronger, Teemu Selanne, Phil Kessel, Dion Phaneuf. But of all these signings, which one surprised you the most?
I think you'd be surprised the most by Juice, by Kevin Bieksa, how we signed him.
Give us the story. How'd you sign him?
I didn't know if I wanted to sign him, so we sent him to Manitoba on an ATO, an amateur tryout agreement. So he's going to play a game or two. We'll decide. He's a right shot D. We liked his heart. We liked his try. We liked his brains. We weren't sure about his feet. His skating was suspect.
I think I was a good skater, but apparently I wasn't.
So the first night he does not play, and he's in the bar at Earl's with all the other guys. And this is when the issue starts.
So I was actually sitting at a high top with Fedor and his billet dad, and I'm sitting there stirring my rum and coke, and my straw hits an ice cube and flies out of my hands and hits Kirill Koltsov kind of in the back, and he was probably standing about 5 feet away from us with his back to us at the bar waiting for a drink.
So Fedor was our troubled rookie. Great kid, but just couldn't get anything right. Kirill Koltsov was a little wee defenseman.
He was a smaller guy. He was probably 5'10", 5'11", 190 pounds, but a little bit of a pit bull.
So Fedor goes nuts. He goes, "What are you doing, rookie?" And Juice says, we call Kevin BX's Juice because he's ripped, like he's on the juice.
Still.
And he never touched juice in his life, which is steroids. He's never done it, but everyone calls him Juice. He says, hey, I'm sorry.
To Kirill, I said, sorry, man, it was an accident. And he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I said, sit down before I knock you out. And that's when Fedor put his hand on my shirt and said, hey.
No, we're taking this outside. No, Fedorov, 6'4", 230, big man, much bigger than Sergey. So Juice turns to our captain, Dallas Eakins, and says, I can't get in a fight. I'm here on an ATO. I can't get in a fight in a bar.
Yeah, I was thinking that before we went outside. Fedor got up and walked outside. And I sat in the booth, thought about it for about 10 seconds, and I'm like, nah, I'm going to go out and see what's going on.
So Kevin goes outside, one punches Fedor, cuts him wide open, knocks him cold. Dallas doesn't even leave to go watch the fight. He stays and sits at the bar with his red wine. Now Juice is distraught. He's like, they're going to send me home tomorrow. And Dallas is like, you don't know our boss. Berkey's going to sign you tomorrow. And we did.
There are some players that we all look at and we say, that's a Berkey kind of player. Safe to say Bieksa was a Berkey kind of player?
Yeah, there's been a few guys that, were just grouchy, miserable, obnoxious bastards to play against. And Juice was one of them. I hated playing against him. Like when I was in Calgary and he was in Vancouver and we were playing against him, I hated playing against him. I hated when his teams played against mine. But he was a leader. He's a class act. He got all the community stuff. He was great.
How do you like him on TV?
I think he's fantastic. I really do. I think he's a real breath of fresh air.
And here you go, gentlemen. Who knew that we had lentil soup on the menu? We're limited on spices, but the chef thought the chocolate ghost pepper would go great with your soup.
Yeah.
Both guys 5 each for fighting!
Berkey, Octagon side, how did you get these tickets?
Somebody owed me a huge favor, pal. This was the return.
Ooh, this is a great return. I've been a fan of UFC since the beginning. Now, two totally different sports, obviously, but if you could pick three guys, current or former, to throw in the Octagon, hockey players, who would they be? Who are the toughest guys you've ever been around?
I'm going to mention one guy that no one will ever put on their list that should be on their list, and that was George McPhee.
Oh, big time.
Because George McPhee fought out of his weight class every night. There's a guy who's a lightweight that fought heavyweights and beat them consistently. Scary tough, but I wouldn't put him down as a heavyweight champ because he didn't fight that many fights or that long a career. So my three guys would be, I got to put Tiger in there. He's the all-time penalty leader. He played in an era where you had to fight really tough guys. It's not like he had an easy dance card, so I'd put Tiger first. I'm going to put Gino Ojic second. He's in the top 5 or 6 in penalty minutes, and just a wonderful human being, just a great guy. So I put Gino in there at 2. And number 3, I'm going to put Bob Probert. You got Ty Domi and Marty McSorley and Dale Hunter. Those guys are all up there. They're all legit. You can't do that job and not be legit. But Bob Probert was a guy, to me, that tried to win every fight. And when you try to win every fight, you're going to lose some fights. That's when you get in trouble. If you try and get a draw in a fight, you can get a draw in a fight. But if you try to win, that's when you lose. He tried to win every fight, which I respected. And also, I like the fact that even late in his career, he would give young guys their first spot.
You know, I remember talking to Mel Engelstad. Remember him? The Mangler from Manitoba?
Yep.
I think he was the first player to ever wear the number 69 in the NHL also. Actually, that's true. He said he was playing a game. It was an exhibition game. He was playing against Probert. I guess he probably would have been with Chicago at that point. And he pulled up next to Probert and said,
"Hey, Proby, I'm a huge fan, man. I'd appreciate it if you do me the honors."
And to your point, Bob would always say, guys did it for me when I was a kid. I'll do it for a kid anytime. And they threw down, and Engelstad told me,
"Bob caught me with 3 rights really fast. And all I could think was, how cool is it that I'm actually fighting Bob Probert as he's punching me in the face?"
Before he got into the fight, he's like, wow, this is so awesome. Bob Probert's punching me in the face.
That's why I mentioned him as one of the guys. He would take that fight because he got that chance when he was a kid, and I respect that about Bob Probert. And I loved watching him play, and I loved watching him fight.
He did one of the most unique things consistently that I ever saw in a fight. He would get stronger as the fight went on. Like, he was a notoriously slow starter with a lot of his fights, but as it built, he seemed to get stronger and more aggressive, where other guys would just tire out.
Yeah, and he was a great long fighter. We call it long fighters, guys. The longer the fight goes, the better they are. And Bob Probert was a pack-a-day smoker. So you figured, okay, he's going to tire out quickly. No, the longer the fight went on, the better Bob got. He's legit. That would be my list of those 3 guys. Love them all.
Emotional fans. I'm here to find some and answer the question, does jinxing actually work? Let's find out. I gotta say, this is the smoothest part of Toronto. Like right now, it's like this little era. The Jays are fresh, the whole fit is fresh. What did you just yell out?
Raptors -5.
So that's how I knew you were one of my people.
That's right.
Has jinxing ever worked for you to like affect the outcome of a game? Whatever you were thinking about or whatever you're emanating from here actually worked and the team that you wanted to win won the game?
I'm positive vibes only. I don't like to jinx. Sometimes I'm so confident that my jinx will actually work. I don't like to jinx. So no, I'm not about a jinxing vibe.
It works. Have you seen those Bills Mafia guys? They had the apartment, and every time they'd say, miss it, it would miss that way or miss that way. That one works for me, but you can only pull it out on special occasions.
Activate your internet brains. What's the gift that best describes you as a bettor?
The green tongue, yes. You stick your tongue out. It's got the money sign on it. Yeah, that's me, yeah.
Probably somebody sweating, most likely.
Damian Lillard, walk off, Paul George, the wave. And at the end of the night, if you get a big hit, some cash in the account.
You know that gift where they're just kind of looking at you like, shoot, like, is this gonna actually fill my ticket? Or
remember when Zach Galifianakis is in the betting on to get their money back, and he has a whole bunch of numbers in his head or whatever? Yeah, that's probably me, because I kind of think of all the calculations of how much money I'm gonna win if I win, or what's gonna happen if I lose.
You're rolling with a genius.
I'm a prayer guy. That's what I.
Just prayer hands, like Gary.
That's me. Yeah.
Does yelling at the TV work for you?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it works.
It just raises my blood pressure. It doesn't really work.
When he was screaming in the playoffs when he hit that 3?
Yeah, against Golden State, yeah.
That's me. I'm screaming. Like, whether it works or not, I can't really tell you, but it does something for me.
How you doing? Sorry, I didn't see you there. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends we got the game. Leafs Flyers coming up right now. There it is. And holy smokes, Carter Hart. If you're a goaltender, 10 the goal. You really can't blink with these two, eh? How is this game 0-0?
Riley in his own zone plays it ahead on the left wing for
How is this game 0-0? The way that period ended, the first period, the way this one began.
That one knocked down
and also some things that we just plain missed. Like I checked Twitter as soon as I stopped yapping at first intermission, and I see Wayne Simmons and I think what is it, Zach McEwen drop the gloves, and I was like, when did that happen? So I think that must have happened in one of the breaks, and I just didn't see it.
Since January.
But they tried to fight each other, and then the refs wouldn't let them. Which, stop that. That's crap. How don't you let Wayne Simmons fight in a return to Philadelphia? Like, figure it out. Get a heartbeat. Oh, here come the Flyers. Ah! Jack Campbell, good job. You know what I'm still not over? And I think it was in Toronto. Dion Phaneuf was going to fight Jarome Iginla. And the refs broke it up. Like, listen, I understand they have a mandate to prevent fights that are preventable. But if you have two willing... Jack! Okay, that works. Anyway, if you have two willing combatants, let him go. Whoa! David Kampf almost had maybe the sickest assist of the Leafs season on a team with Mitch Marner on it. How is this game tied? 0-0. Should be tied 4-4. Good little flick. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Two really good passes there. Willie to Kampf. Camp to Engvall. Even if he just whacked the thing. Like, did Sheldon Keefe accidentally create a second line when he promoted, or when he demoted Nylander? And then this line, Kerfoot in the lineup. He missed a skate yesterday. Let's take a look at some of Jack Campbell's handiwork from the broadcast. He looks more comfortable now than he did at the start of the game. He made some saves, but he was like a little out of position. That's a pretty nice stop. That's a... Oh, baby. There's Jack. There's Jack.
So far, so good.
Love you, buddy. Listen, this Leafs team does not need superhuman goaltending. I think they've proven that over the last little stretch. Like, Mrazek was good for a couple games there. Shelgren hasn't been over the top. He's been good. He's been good. Solid.
How much it impacted those last three starts.
Leafs really playing with fire against the Flyers. Shelgren was solid. Like, Campbell doesn't need to be the all-star that he was for the Leafs to be effective, or for him to be an effective goalie for the Leafs. If he can play at that level, while the Leafs continue to play at the level they've been playing at recently, that's a great team, man. That's a team with as good a chance to win as any. But you got to get there first, don't you? No playoff round wins since 2004, which is now over half my life ago, and I'm sad. Wait, is it over half my life ago? What a sad conversation. Here come the Leafs. Here's the fourth line. Nick Abruzzese in a big size mismatch. Wayne Simmons, though. Choo-choo.
Here's Simmons spinning it toward the net. And Philadelphia sends it down.
It's an okay little fourth line shift.
Over 1,000 games, and more than half of those played in the colors of the black and orange here in Philadelphia.
I'm having a hard time putting my finger on why this game is sloppy from a Leafs perspective, but it's right. A little fast and loose. It's almost like they're not afraid of the Flyers, and I feel like maybe they should be a little bit, as Jack Campbell gloves that down. There was a question earlier tonight about my confidence in Jack Campbell. This guy's playing with confidence, isn't he? He doesn't look bothered at all. Emily from the chat asked, what would my goal song be? Ooh. Okay, so I don't have an answer to that because I know I'm never going to score a goal in the NHL. Oh, here come the Flyers, and that's a goal. Well, what would Kevin Hayes' goal song be? He opens the scoring. D-zone draw for the first line. They lose, and it ends up in the back of their net. Not good enough. Shots 15-6 as the Flyers open the scoring at home. Not sure where Brody's going there. Where was Brody going there? Hall doesn't pick up Hayes. Way too wide open. Oh boy. There's definitely a miscommunication there. Either Matthews or Hall as Brody attacked the point, and no one really compensated. What was the question? Oh yeah, goal song. So I don't have a good answer because I know I'm not going to score in the NHL. But for some reason, the song that started playing in my head that made me laugh. Simply the best. Oh, Carter Hart got bumped there a little bit by William Nylander. Oh, as Willie gets a pretty good scoring chance there. Leafs looking to even it up. John Tavares was able to even the game up at 3 against the Jets fairly quickly. And this third line's buzzing right now. As it's almost like the Leafs needed an excuse to play tonight. Engvall loses the handle. And they'll go for a line change. Oh, or not. What happened? What did I miss?
I mentioned the misreads here. Watch as Konechny goes out. Brody
yeah, that breakdown. I know one of Matthews or Hall should have picked up Hayes there. I don't understand why 3 Leafs attacked the same player at the point.
Off of face-offs, there's just a misread. There's your little tug by Provorov as Engvall works hard.
Was that a penalty on Provorov? Yes, it was. Holding on Ivan Provorov. Leafs with a power play. Lethal as of late. So this is a really good opportunity to tie it up here. Oh! Almost a real nice passing play for a tap in for Matthews. If I don't seem bothered, it's because I'm not. Leafs have the first ranked power play in the NHL, but also it's the Leafs, man. It's a Saturday night Leafs game. They've almost all been carnivals if you've been watching these streams with us. Like, taking the under is rarely the way to go on Saturdays. And counting the Leafs out when they're down 1 is also rarely the way to go. And that goes for any day of the week, not just Saturday, as John Tavares. It's not the greatest tip on that. Leafs got numbers! Marner, his shot gloved by Carter Hart. I wonder if Keefe keeps the first unit out there. They were looking pretty good there on that play. Moving the puck well. Carter Hart, though, confident. People have been way too down on him.
Pretty good job by Hart reacting to that as that almost squeaked through. But
Willie often smiles when he gets stopped, especially in games where the Leafs are losing, and I think that drives some fans nuts. For me, I'm just like, that's Willie. But I can see why some fans would hate it. Get your head in the game. And then he scores the next goal, you know. He almost did! Matthews! Marner! Someone shoot! Oh my gosh! How isn't that in?
With Carter Hart down and out, and now
Oh, Tavares!
Takes that ricochet off the board.
How do the Leafs still have it? How isn't the game tied?
Now defers to Nylander.
How do I save money on car insurance? Missed the net. Ew. Ooh, does Matthews hold the line there? If this goes in, I wonder what the review is going to be like. 20 seconds to go here on this power play for the Leafs. Still down 1-0, but not for a lack of trying. 10 seconds to go here. Willie's been on the ice for nearly 3 minutes. Oh! Oh!
3 shots on the power play, but the Leafs.
Unreal power play for the Leafs. Really, really good. Lots of scoring chances, but it's not always going to go in. Still down 1-0 to the Flyers. 7 minutes into the second here.
He almost started to go back checking, but decided he better make the change.
Flyers giving it back. It's the kid. First NHL game. But the Leafs post power play line gets it deep. Kerfoot, Mikheyev, Camp.
Now that's one of those power plays, doesn't score, but you saw all the pressure, and now if you're the Leafs, you finally got a little bit of pressure on Carter Hart. You got to follow it up 5-on-5 and don't allow that non-goal.
Kerfoot's a mystifying player, man.
Trying to create some momentum as Kerfoot takes a lap in the Philadelphia zone.
I just had another sneeze disappear on me. Ilya Mikheyev. Stopped by Carter Hart.
Strong play by Ilya
We'll talk about why Kerfoot's a mystifying player after this break. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. We'll be right back. Just want them to score. I do. And it's going to happen. Before the next whistle, Leafs are going to score. It's my prediction. You got to manifest it. You got to put it out into the world. All right? Too much yelling? Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. The Leafs have not played great. Flyers scored not too long ago. It's Kevin Hayes. But still a super attainable game. Super attainable 2 points. Super attainable dub in Nick Abruzzesi's first game in the NHL. Jack Campbell's first game since returning from injury. Got potential, folks. John Tavares with the ozone draw. He's out there with Willie. Interesting. Tavares out there with Willie and Engvall.
Tavares tucked it wide. Back up top. Nylander
I'm
again
intrigued.
fired, knocked down. Again, it's Tavares.
Keith getting out the blender.
Nylander together.
We have seen Kerfoot in Engvall's slot. We have seen Mikheyev in Engvall. In Engvall's slot. We have not seen Engvall in Engvall's slot. So would that make the third line Mikheyev, Camp, Kerfoot? Weird.
That's caught and held.
Interesting.
By Campbell.
Yeah, good tracking by Campbell there as Provorov just trying to get it to where the traffic is good break.
Today, and things I'm probably overthinking.
Potential for an odd man rush, but
Flyers managed to draw an ozone draw from the Toronto Maple Leafs.
The key for Campbell there is to read
Ivan Provorov is an interesting one. Frequently comes up on 32 Thoughts as a potential trade target.
Mark of this second period.
Gonna bring up his cap friendly. If I'm not mistaken, he's an RFA.
Continuing, and that's the Leafs having more trouble with the teams that.
Here's the top line. They need a crisp shift. They've had some chaotic shifts where they've generated chances. I want to see a crisp, dominant shift from these guys, especially because they were on the ice for the one goal against the Leafs. Flyers with a little bit of space here.
He's the goal scorer, plays it right on goal, and
Really disorganized tonight as Jack Campbell makes a save. Oh, I lied. Provorov is not an RFA at all. He has 3 more years after this one.
To me are the 2 Canadian and 2 Sabres games in close proximity. And you can never overthink the ones you
So that little stat they showed you there on the broadcast.
Tampa coming up with on back-to-back nights as well. You got to win this game.
I don't know the exact record, but supposedly the Leafs have one of the best records in the entire NHL against teams that are in a playoff spot. But their record against teams like the Flyers, no offense to Flyers fans in here, sucks. Or it's way under what it should be. Kerfoot, he can rip it. He just often chooses not to. Liljegren, good job sticking with his man. Man, I love this player.
And a guy that's going to get a lot more responsibility in the absence of Claude Giroux.
Leafs avoid icing. Carter Hart, if you're a goaltender.
Up the boards and
make a good pass.
Atkinson with a backhand flip to center. Farabee's on it. Pass intercepted.
A name to watch here.
Up ahead for
oh, Wayne Train almost sprung for the breakaway. A name to watch, Cam Atkinson. I don't know what his career numbers are, but when he was with the Blue Jackets, man, that guy was a Leaf killer. Killer.
Now Farabee to the near side.
Leafs could beat the Blue Jackets 5-1, and you could bet the mortgage that the one would be scored by Atkinson.
Yeah, I think the route that Brody took.
And it's a breakaway.
Hey! Here we go! Get in! Yeah! Wayne Train! Gets one in Philly! And that's got to be one of the most satisfying goals of his Leaf career. Buddy, not only did Wayne Simmons score a breakaway goal, he had almost 2 breakaways in the same shift. Here's TJ Brody. So Wayne Simmons, hey, yeah, buddy! Chips it. You know what? He has to settle a pretty obnoxious puck there. People are going to say he fanned on it. Man, that is a tumultuous puck. It is bouncing all over the place. It is made of vulcanized rubber, and it showed. The pass from TJ Brody was fantastic, but the ability of Wayne Simmons, the read of Wayne Simmons, to not just fight off the defender, but before that, stay on side. Only his 5th goal of the season. He has struggled.
Back for York, his shot that goes off Lindblom.
But a great goal there.
9 minutes remaining here in the second.
And I mean, buddy, Wayne Train, he can have a garbage 82 games. As long as he shows up in the playoffs, no notes, no complaints. That goes for every player, except you can't have every player suck for 82 games because then you won't make the playoffs. But it's a story for another day. Let's go. Wayne Simmons, that's great. Hey, what? 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 Did Michael Bunting just get the most Michael Bunting goal of all time? What happened? Was that Bunting or Liljegren? Okay. All right. Let's get the replay here. We got on our replay glasses, and we're going to see what the heck happened here. Liljegren puts it on. It's way wide on purpose. It goes in off Carter Hart's equipment. I don't think
going from side to side.
I don't think Bunting touches this.
Then gets off
Is this
to
going to
the
be in
side,
Dangles?
Tries to get the deflection himself, and it ends
Ah!
up skate not quite
Hard to tell.
tight to the post.
Look at Bunting's stick.
That's a tough one.
I don't know if
Hart
Bunting got a
unable to
piece of
make
that.
the save on
What are they
Simmons,
saying
and
on the broadcast?
Puts that one in his own net.
So if it's Liljegren's goal, it's his third of the year. And
I was too loud so you couldn't hear. I said, did Bunting score or Liljegren? What are they saying? Looks like it's Bunting, says producer Stu. Thank you very much. I didn't know, man. It's hard to tell. I'm watching on the same screen as y'all. Like, jeez. All right, well. Bunting, says producer Rob. Producer Nick, you got the. We need a third one. Nick, you're the worst. How aren't you in my ear right now? Is he walking the dog? What is the... Okay, can everyone hear this conversation? I wish they could. Okay, Bunting, good. Unanimous. Unanimous decision.
We have not seen much of.
I wish you could have heard that all behind the scenes there. We got Nick Andrade, Robert Malloy, Tom Stewart.
6 Eastern. Watch it live on CBC.
Behind the scenes, a wonderful crew.
The Golden Bears are in the final. They'll play the winner of UQTR and Ryerson, and right now UQTR.
I don't know why that Liljegren tape job bothers me. Am I alone? He looks like he's had the same tape for at least a month.
Flips it ahead. The shot's now 19-14 Philadelphia.
His stick looks like mine. His tape job looks like an old, small ankle sock.
Trying to take it away. And
get in there!
He continues to battle, but
I don't know
Flyers send it out to center ice.
what told Kerfoot to bend that way. I'm just impressed he could and still got up. Look at him. Skating around right now. He's not hurt at all. Athletes, man.
Didn't stop there. They followed it up and continued with the pressure, and now suddenly hold a 2-1 lead.
Hayes had scored for Philadelphia.
The Flyers won. Scarborough 2. As Wayne Simmons and Michael Bunting get the Leafs on the board. Leafs up 2-1. Here on Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. It was a fun turn of events there, folks. Lucky in the chat. Will Matthew Nyes get a shot? Well, I think he'll get many. And then hopefully some of them go in. No. So Matthew Nyes, it's kind of interesting. The Leafs really needed help up front. They really needed to solve the second line. I'm not saying they have, but that problem has become certainly less pressing this week. And Matthew Nyes was expected to come in and solve that. Problem is, he's not under contract, and the reason he's not under contract is his university team keeps winning. They're about to enter the Frozen Four next week, I believe. And until his team gets eliminated and their season is done, he's not going to sign a deal with the Leafs. What does work in his favor and the Leafs' favor, though, is there's 15 games this month. There are 14 games left for Leafs this regular season after this one, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's right, because last game was game 67, LOL, LMAO, LMFAO. So I think he's got a shot for sure. But, like, Spets is a healthy scratch tonight. That's a useful player. Clifford is a scratch tonight. It's a useful player. In certain environments, certainly was useful yesterday. Abruzzesi's playing in his first game. Oh. Blackwell. Big fan of that player. But what's wrong with depth? So the Leafs have, you have a max of 50 contracts slots. 50 contract slots. The Leafs have used 47. So they could still sign Matthew Nyes. He'd be able to play in the regular season and playoffs. because those are the rules. He's Leaf property. It's not the same as if he were a free agent like Harry Sateri.
Fired around and deflected off the stick of Farabee.
He'll certainly get a shot. I mean, because here's what you probably don't want is for Matthew Nye's first NHL game to be in the Leafs' top 6 in the playoffs and like potentially an elimination game. You'd like him to at least get his feet wet. Whoa! Oh my goodness! If that went in, if that final pass connected. Is Mitch Marner hurt? This is Matthews bunting Willie. Oh boy, all alone. Big block. Willie laboring. Oh boy. All alone in front. Oh boy, that's not good enough from the Leafs. A very discombobulated shift. Maybe a little out of sorts because Nylander was stinging. Ooh, right in the ankle too. And the Leafs just don't compensate at all. Matthews, he's been getting praised for his defense a lot this season, and for good reason. But there's that top line out there for their second goal against. No bueno. And now the game is tied 2-2. No, so Tavares is out there with Marner and Mikheyev. Sheldon Keefe has got the blender all the way out, eh? Oh! Oh! No! Hockey was just robbed of that goal, not the Leafs. All of hockey, all of us. That would have been amazing.
Scrambling, the puck's loose for a second, off the side, rebound, gets across.
I think absence makes the heart grow fonder. And oh man, do Marner and Tavares love playing with each other. You always forget that it's an option. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Here on the Sportsnet YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Was that good? It's 2-2 in the second. It's a strange game. If you're a Leaf fan, I think. They're clearly not playing their best. They're also clearly better. I'm not totally sure how to quantify that. They're playing like a team that is too good for this game. You know what I mean? They emptied the tank against the Panthers, emptied the tank against the Bruins, emptied the tank against the Jets. And there just isn't the same level of mad against the Philadelphia Flyers. But the Leafs are behaving a little bit the way a team heading into a playoff stretch run behaves. You obviously want to play your best games in the stretch run. Like, I mean, rest guys, fine. Maybe the last game, last 2 games. But you want to enter the playoffs crisp. Based on the last 3 games, Leafs are pretty crisp. I think this is a bit of a Sheldon Keefe needle game, fidget game. You can tell they're not engaged. All right, breaking up the top line. It's one of the best lines in hockey. Guess what? Willie, demoted to line 3. You're up on line 1. Bunting, Matthews, Willie. Marner, Tavares, Mikheyev. After Engvall was there for a shift. It's all very confusing. Willie's on his 3rd line of the night.
When you might need to try something different with the
4th if you include the power play.
So perhaps
Giordano
a test drive tonight.
hitting Owen Tippett, who was the centerpiece of the Claude Giroux trade. Ooh. Is Mikheyev the fastest person in the world ever? Has Mikheyev ever used speed skates? That's what I want to know.
Slides out to center ice.
Jeff Merrick is always on about who is the fastest backward skater in the NHL.
And it's an icing call against Toronto. Well, the Globe and Mail
He did his
calls the
research,
new
and supposedly it's Jonas Brodin.
sizzling series. Join the hype Mondays at 9.
I want to know who the fastest NHL player in speed skates is. Do any of them know how to use them? If any of them tried to race in speed skates, would their contract be voided for breach?
Jack Campbell and an offensive zone face-off win by
So now we got Willie out there with the third line again.
shot right on. Dangle reverses it. Justin Hall with
My
room
goodness,
and
Sheldon
Campbell
Keefe
at center.
is fidgety
Nylander will swing it in.
tonight. Camp, Willie, Engvall.
So there's Nylander, Engvall, and Camp, the line that started the night.
Confusing bounce.
Nick Sealer, the former Minnesota Wild, ahead.
You know what I mean when I say, like, this has been a weird game so far, right? It's sloppy. It's real sloppy. Sloppy Joe. Ideally, what you like to see... Oh, here we go. Really? What a move! Can't come away with it. I thought he should have shot that. Ideally, what you want to see in the third period here, if not the final few minutes of this period, you'd like to see the Leafs pull away. Enough of this nonsense. No offense to the Flyers, the Leafs should be winning this game. You're not going to win every game, I know.
Well, that line is
but I can cheer for them too.
As
You know.
Engvall and Nylander have been dangerous. There's the drive.
I don't understand fans who are like, I'm fine with the fact that they lost that one.
Adjust and try to cut to the inside.
What?
Sealer makes sure he gets a little bit of help. Got stick on puck there
What?
and didn't allow the play to happen. That's just having confidence, thinking.
Don't make fun of me for being mad that they lost. Or sad. I don't even have to be mad at them. I'm just sad. That's what being a fan is.
At the Olympic Games, a good pass sends away Blackwell, weak shot.
I love going to Leaf games, and when the other team scores, I go, this is fine!
Well, it'll be interesting.
That is all right!
Now 14 games after this is.
You'll get them next time!
Look like Chris. There's going to be all kinds of auditions. Jason
I was at Game 6 when the Capitals eliminated the Leafs, and we all gave the team a standing ovation because that team just did nothing but play exciting hockey and overachieve. But generally speaking, I'm not like, you'll get them next time, boys. No, I want to see them win. What are you talking about? The Leafs are like one of the best teams in the league this year. They're definitely top 5. They might be, or sorry, definitely top 10. They might be top 5. Oh boy, almost a wraparound goal. I've seen them play 2 games live this season. They lost both of them 5-2. That sucks. And I wasn't like, it's okay though, look at the standings. Oh my God, what happened?
Campbell gets that bad bounce off the dasherboard, but
if you're a defender,
your best friend and such good defenseman. You know the
what happened here? Oh my God, they're frozen in terror.
Campbell had committed himself and
almost a wraparound goal.
To get there quick enough, but right on the post, it's Giordano.
Oh!
Get the stick there first, does an excellent job. As
I thought he just screwed that up. Mark Giordano with a great defensive play. God, I love that player. That goal didn't happen last game. Shut up. No, his goal happened. The goal against him never happened. It was a rumor. It was a it's photoshopped.
Back around to the near side for Riley, out at center, and Bunting in behind to Matthews.
2-on-1.
Bunting.
Oh, Bunting stopped. 2-on-1 with Matthews. Is this Matthews Bunting Kerfoot? Like on purpose?
Along the boards, Kerfoot in behind the net. And
Keith, you absolute madman. As JVR breaks out,
back pressure by Toronto.
but he can't outrace his former team.
Alex Kerfoot.
He's got to put that green mouthguard in his mouth. It's having it dangle out is like he loses speed. It's not aerodynamic. JVR.
Here comes Brown.
I was good at the 100-meter dash at the end of elementary school, and my track coach told me to shave my legs. That's a true story. Oh! Bouncing puck in the air, and Jack Campbell gets his glove on it.
by Brody at center, but
McKayev was open there on the wing.
momentum here in their fourth line, back to the attack. Thompson in front.
Ah!
Puck still loose, and Tavares there to intercept.
JT, I don't know about that pass there, Doc.
Marner on it. Up ahead to the captain, trying to get it onto the left wing side for McKayev.
I don't know if the Flyers are playing really effectively in the neutral zone or if the Leafs are just not into this game. Oh! JT almost gets Marner for the breakaway.
Second period.
Some wild
Shoots.
plays at both ends. Here's just a great play by
Here's that 2-on-1 bunting to Matthews.
And tries to go short side. Hart stands his ground. How about
Good
this
save.
for a bounce off of Thompson in front, looked like it.
Oh!
The quick reaction. Campbell
I didn't realize that hit Thompson basically in the head, and then Campbell batted it away. Hockey's ridiculous. Oh no! Oh, very, very fortunate that didn't go in. There's still time though. 50 seconds to go here. Eli McKayev, fastest man alive. He gets smushed. 40 seconds to go. The score is 2-2. Flyers had a big push at the end of the first. Let's see what they got here at the end of the second.
After it behind the net is Keats and Farabee. Back to Ristolainen. His pass across was
Oh boy. The Flyers have missed a number of tap-ins just because their passes haven't quite been crisp. Stiff hit on Giordano. Just under 15 seconds to go here. The Leafs have an offensive zone draw here. 10.2, and Sheldon Keefe, who has been a silly goose all second period long. I'm interested to see what he does. 10 seconds to go is he's not going to pull Jack. If there were maybe 2 seconds, he would try. I think they might go 4 forwards here. They should certainly try. Matthews, Willie, Bunting. Cute glove drawing. This is a very good shot of the red dot.
Austin Matthews and
Scrambled face off.
Oh!
Puck goes up and out. Now this is interesting, right? It's the end of the period. Do you pull Jack Campbell?
Bunting does an excellent job of winning that battle on 2, and there's another good stick by a defender, Provorov.
If this is an O-zone draw, it is. Campbell's still in his net. Yeah, hockey's a weird sport, man. 3 seconds is a long time. Willie's going to try to win this outright to Matthews for the blast. Oh! He fanned on it!
And that's going to do it.
He even got a second opportunity there.
To get up at the end of that face-off.
Matthews fighting it a bit. Buddy, you're Austin Matthews. You don't need to fight it. You don't got to go out of your way to search for these things. Well, after a sloppy first period that saw no goals, we had a second period with 4. The team split them evenly, 2 goals apiece. 2 for the Leafs, 2 for the Flyers. Here on Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. We'll get to some hashtag content. After I answer a few more of your questions. Andrew, how likely is it that the refs would hear what a fan base is saying and punish a team over it? We do know they're emotional. I mean, refs are human, right? And in the age of social media, which I hate starting sentences like that, but in the age of social media, it's no longer just screamed at you by the mob. You probably don't even understand or hear what they're saying individually. Now you get to read it, right? This ref is a joke. And you click their profile and they're wearing a Leafs jersey, or they're wearing a Sharks jersey, or a Senators jersey, a Flyers jersey. That's got to affect you. And even if they don't search it out, their family does. I've heard it over and over and over again. It's amazing how well some NHL players avoid the noise on social media, but their family will relay the news to them. Can you believe this writer said this, or this fan said this, or did you see this tweet? Or none of them need to see that. The refs don't either. I like to think they're a professional. And I like to think I'm professional because I would like to bring something back to the broadcast that hasn't been here for a long time. Is Steve wearing pants? That's right. You have to guess if I am wearing pants. I have worn hockey pants, I think swim trunks once, sweatpants, jeans. You know I'm going to wear some sort of bottom. We enjoy these streams. We're trying to keep them going. You have 10 seconds to leave your answer in the chat. Am I wearing pants? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's sweats. Sweatpants. There it is. Isn't it? Okay, how high can I? Not high. Not high at all. God, that's pathetic. You ever seen sweatpants with zippers? For the pocket? These are the fanciest things that I own. Not even just the pants. Like the pocket themselves. Also, I do glute bridges every morning. And this segment is purely an opportunity for me to show that fact off. I'm going to fix my hair. But when we come back, we'll have more Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. And for now, we have Sportsnet original content. Did you guess right? I hope you did.
Here's Matthews to the attack. Wraparound. Scores! There's number 200 and number 1 of the year for Austin Matthews. To the cars for Nylander. Feeds it back. Matthews shot. Scores! Austin Matthews. Power play goal. And Toronto leads 2-0. But keep away here. Routing a centering pass. Letter save. Rebound. Score! Austin Matthews has his second. And it's a 3-0 lead. The give and go play for Marner in front. Matthews scores! There. Riley again. One-timer. Scores. There's a vintage Austin Matthews blast. Crossing with Riley. Matthews shoots. Scores. Playing a significant role. Nylander back across. Matthews shoots. Scores. Austin Matthews power play goal. And the Leafs have a 1-0 lead. Matthews is on it again. Tavares together from scores. Austin Matthews from John Tavares, and it's 4-1. Across Liljegren shooting, loose puck, scored. Matthews has scored in back-to-back, and the Leafs lead 3-1. Now a centering pass, bunting back for Brody. TJ Brody, a shot, scores. Might have been tipped in front.
I think Austin Matthews gets the deflection here, and that would be goals in 3 straight for Matthews.
It's the 50th NHL game tonight. Centered in front, Austin Matthews, beauty, and it's 3-0. And Austin Matthews in tight. Defensive strategy by playing right in front. Matthews scores, has doubled down, and it's 6-2 Toronto. Here's Matthews, couple of goals, scores, hat-trick goal. His 4th career hat trick. And that with the signature Austin Matthews shot. Gets it back from Riley. In front, scores. Austin Matthews tie game as the Leafs scored 2 on the power play and 3 straight to get even.
15 seconds to go on the first penalty. Matthews in, shoot, scores. Austin Matthews on the power play. Pass for Bunting out of the box and on Bean. Bunting spins, puts it between his legs. They score! Matthews! What a pass by Bunting! And Matthews points at him right away. Here for Tavares. Back to come again. Matthews shoots, scores! Austin Matthews with a lightning strike for Toronto.
Nylander fires. Short side in front. Scores! Austin Matthews has number 18.
On that by Nurse and a save Koskinen. Tavares backdoor score. Austin Matthews finishes it off and stays hot. That's his 12th goal in the last 10 games. 19 on the year, 1-0 Toronto. To right Hopkins. Has it knocked down by Kasha. Wired home by Austin Matthews, his second of the night.
Back to Riley. In front, backhand scores. Austin Matthews has number 21. Down low is Munson. Kerfoot took it away from McKinnon, and Matthews has doubled down, and the Leafs have a 3-0 lead.
William Nylander has scored for Toronto. Here's Bunting who centered it, and Matthews scores. Right on the doorstep. Joe Newendale.
Austin Matthews, 14 seconds into the period, ties it for Toronto.
Get back onto the left flank and falls for it. Down low it goes. Marner behind the net. Back to Matthews. Scores! It's 10 straight on the road for Austin Matthews, and the game is tied again. Marner back out along with Matthews and Bunting. Here's a chance. Austin Matthews scores! Matthews answers with number 26 on the season. Marner hands it off, and here comes Matthews. Marner, Riley shooting, scores! Tipped in front. Number 34 has doubled down. Behind the net, Hughes in front, and it popped away from Zaka, played down the ice, and in, and it's a hat-trick goal for Austin Matthews.
Pinching down there and keeping it alive. Marner coming off the board. Marner into the slot. Matthews scores! Austin Matthews with a rifle.
Back to the point to Marner. A pass back in, deflected in on goal. They score!
Matthews is right there to tap that in. He's going to draw. Marner gives it back to Riley. Matthews scores! There's number 30 for 34.
Tavares. Puck knocked off his stick by Larson. Leafs get it back. Nylander shoots. Kicked out. Rebound. They score! Austin Matthews set up by John Tavares.
Russ nearly knocked that down, but TJ Brody's got Matthews on a break to tie the goal record, and he scores! And Austin Matthews is tied for the league lead in goals.
Leafs bring it right back in again with Bunting getting it in. Backhand pass in front. Scores! And Austin Matthews is there to finish it.
Liljegren will come to center. Returns the favor now to Matthews on the left wing with a shot. Scores! Back checking of Matthews, takes it away to Marner, closing in. Marner back in front, they score! Holy mackerel!
Drops it back to the line for Brody. Sizes it up, fires, scores! Austin Matthews is the goal-scoring leader again. Chester trying to skeet away from traffic, gave it away. Austin Matthews has tied the game and has tied Leon Draisaitl. Matthews. Liljegren back to Matthews, scores! 3 straight for the Leafs and a 4-3 lead. Here's Matthews, swings in front, scores! First to 40 is Austin Matthews, and it's 3-0 Toronto.
For Morgan Riley, back across to Nylander. For Matthews, walks in and shoots, scores! Austin Matthews strikes again, a power play goal. It's 1-0 Toronto. Across the line, that's picked up. Bunting up for Marner. Chips it there for Bunting in with Matthews. Centering pass, Matthews, and scores! Austin Matthews has got 2, and the game is tied. Back to Matthews. This time he won't miss. Austin Matthews, bring on the hats. He's got 3 tonight.
Intercepted by Bunting, dashing back in with Matthews to the net. Oh, great stop, Wedgwood. Marner fired it high. Well, we'll find out if that puck did cross the line. If we hear the horn, you'll know.
Came right down the gut, and there it is.
There it is. The horn sounds. And Austin Matthews, in an unusual way, has scored his 44th. And Matthews scores! 45 for Austin Matthews, and the Leafs regain the lead. Here's Mitch Marner. Matthews, oh, what a stop! Scores! Austin Matthews has number 46, and the Leafs are within 1. Allen in tight. Here's Bunting. Matthews scores! It's another first minute goal, 36 seconds in. And Austin Matthews has matched a personal best with number 47 with 3 consecutive to beat the Panthers. And that's going to be a 5-2 game. And Austin Matthews is going to take the Rocket Richard lead with .4 on the clock. And that's icing on the cake, isn't it? Lazar out there with no second, a penalty killing roll. Rink wide Marner shot. Who's puck scores? 49 in the league lead for Austin Matthews.
Puck comes free to Marner. Chips it ahead. Matthews, empty net. There it is! There it is! Number 34 has got 50. Move over, leads. Chucky and Squid. Big Pappy's on the board.
Trusting Sportsnet employees as bettors. I got to go with Friedge, man. Any insider that knows as much as he knows, and I'm not just talking about hockey. Elliot Friedman knows everything about everything sports.
I trust Kevin Bieksa. Bieksa gave me a couple of plays earlier this year that hit some underdogs, so I trust Bieksa. I also trust Tim McAuliffe. Tim's just better at betting than I am, and this goes back like 20 years.
The person I trust as a bettor at Sportsnet is absolutely nobody. Maybe this guy right here. It's my gut. Or Cabral Richards. He's got a good heart.
If I had to pick somebody, I got to go with Arash Madani. I feel like he has some kind of tennis account in Europe where he's just been building it for years.
That's easy. It's Elliot Friedman, because he is the most trusted person in Canadian sports media. Who do I not trust at Sportsnet? I'm gonna go with JD Bunkus.
I don't trust JD Bunkus. JD shoots more, throws out more hot takes than Steph Curry makes three-pointers.
JD Bunkus, just on a really bad losing streak right now, and I think he's a chase better, so I can't trust that.
I was gonna say Sid Sixero, and that's why I sent him to Breakfast Television.
Wait, can I say Sid? Can I say Sid Sixero? Anytime you're putting your money on a guy to run wind sprints in a garage, it's not gonna go out in your favor.
Does Sid Sixero still work here? Because I don't trust that.
I gotta go with Cabby Richards. I think he's just too optimistic.
Cabby. I don't trust Cabby. He's always nervous. It's because he's losing money.
I will never bet on the Houston Rockets again. The team is trash. And I don't want to name names, Jayshawn Tate or Christian Wood. I don't want to do that. Eric Gordon.
I think all I've got to say here is 28-3.
College basketball, Georgetown Hoyas. They have not had anyone make a jump shot in 30 years.
Team I'll never bet on, the Lakers. I don't know if anybody remembers AD's buzzer beater against Denver. Earlier that season, played the Brooklyn Nets with no Kyrie, no Durant, and they lost. He missed that shot and they lost, and I lost about $80 on it, so never again.
The flip side of that, though, is teams that have a day off in Toronto playing the Toronto Raptors. I'll just say, if you know, you know.
I don't think you should trust anyone as a bettor. I think you should listen to people and then make your own judgments as a bettor, because then you have no one to blame but yourself if it goes bad. And if it goes good, then you take all the credit.
Okay, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. This is a big deal. Not just because we're heading into the third period, not just because this game is tied, but because producer Rob whispered the game into my ear that I always forget about. I have 10 seconds to find something in my room and tell a story about it. 10, 9, 8, I don't know what to pick. Yes, I do. Did I make it in under 10? Okay. Producer Stu said I did it with... We got to find a way to mic you up, Producer Stu. I did it with 1 second to go. This might look like a really cheap party packager's Optimus Prime mask. And you're right. It is. But back when the Leafs had James Reimer, and he was known as Optimus Rhyme, I used to wear things in my LFR videos, my post-game videos, all the time. I used to wear this and do gags as James Reimer or Optimus Rhyme all the time. Then Reimer got traded to the San Jose Sharks, and I was very sad. Then he made his triumphant return back to Toronto the following season as a member of the Florida Panthers. I got him to wear this Optimus Prime mask. He was the last person to ever wear it. I won't put it back on my face. Because it's his now, as far as I'm concerned, even though I hang it from my door.
It was an oddity.
I have a...
second for Sheldon
Is that it?
to juggle around, but the one thing I could think of.
I have a James Reimer. Okay. Oh boy. This is very difficult to do. There you go. That's a James Reimer figurine. And right there, you can see James Reimer wearing red because he was with the Panthers, and he is holding the Optimus Rhyme mask. So I have a frame photo with James Reimer and the Optimus Rhyme mask. Because I am a child. To be fair, I was a child when we filmed that. What was I? 28. James Reimer and I are the same age, actually. He was born 3 days after me. I believe his birthday is March 15th, and mine is the 12th.
If you're a Flyers fan, that's the Provorov that you're used to seeing. As you mentioned, it's been a struggle of a year.
Most notable NHL player to share my birthday, Mikko Koivu. He's older, though. No NHL player ever was born on the day I was born.
What would concern the Leafs and Sheldon Keefe? I mean, puck possession team is what the Leafs pride themselves on.
I want to say Byron Fraze.
Have been able to keep the pressure in the
Hockey Reference is ridiculous. There are some truly ridiculous hockey websites out there. Thank you, producer Rob. James Reimer's birthday is March 15th. March 15th, 1988.
So it's been a pretty solid game for the Flyers on home ice.
Byron Fraze is March 12th, 1991. Former Leaf. No March 12th, 1988 in the entire NHL.
Scrum along the boards in the Leaf zone, dug out there by Keats. And Noah Keats has been noticeable, hasn't he? In his
Working in hockey, or hockey media, I suppose, screws up my perception of a lot. We got, whoa! Good play by Pierre Engvall. Anyway, working in hockey media screws up my perception because we talk about Wayne Simmons and his, he's at the end of his career. He's got an old body. He's got a bunch of injuries. I don't know how much he's got left in the tank. Dude, that guy went to school in my neighborhood at the same time as I did. Like, we have mutual friends. We're both born in '88. I'm struggling with the fact that I would be an old NHL player. Oh! Oh boy, a Leaf and a Flyer down behind the net there. I saw a big collision. I didn't see exactly who was involved.
Both guys are a little shaken up. Their legs locked when they went down.
There's Abruzzese. I think whoever was involved in that collision went for a change.
He's looking down there, thought it was a low hit.
Might get a replay. at the end of this shift. Fourth line's been making noise. They got a goal earlier at Brzezinski. A little bit of a turnover there. Putting Lyubushkin and Campbell in a tough space. And he turns it over. Tough shift for the young fella. But he's out there directing traffic. I like it. Blackwell stuffed into the corner. Lyubushkin will try to break up Brzezinski out. Simmons chips it deep. And I hate to say it, but I don't think the young fella's going to get too many more shifts in the third period. It is the third period after all. You know what? They should. Keefe has been using this game to experiment with his lines. Definitely did in the second. There's no reason to bench the fourth line. Plus, wow, that was creative. It's a turnover, but it was creative. You got to know what you have in Blackwell. You got to get him reps, especially if you're going to make him a healthy scratch on certain nights. I feel like the Leafs are a good enough team that they should be able to do that sort of thing, make those sort of experiments, and also win. But it's been a sloppy game. The Flyers, frankly, have looked like the more dangerous team, while also not looking like the better team, which I think is the perfect way to describe how sloppy this game has been. By the way, viewership always picks up in the third period, so if you're just joining us, welcome. You've missed some fun, but not all the fun, because we got a tie game here. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle, by the way, here on the Sportsnet YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends, all of them. You probably got a friend right now, bro, I need a link for the game. And instead of sending him a link that will definitely get his identity stolen, or her, why not just send them a link to the Sportsnet YouTube channel? You silly goose and or geese. The Leafs just had 14 players on the ice at once, and they might get a goal out of it. Turn it up the ice. Wayne Simmons got one against the Flyers. How bad do you think JVR wants one against the Leafs?
Van Riemsdyk's got it, beats the point. Adder sent it toward the net, knocked down in front by Kerfoot.
Leafs had a big comeback win against the Flyers a few years ago.
Somebody at the bench.
Is that too many men? Leafs had a big comeback win against the Flyers. Oh, Bunting got caught. That's so unfortunate. This is national television and YouTube. Leafs had a big comeback a few years ago against the Philadelphia Flyers. I think it was one of Jake Muzzin's first games as a Leaf. And they were in their St. Pat's uniforms. Leafs ended up winning, I think it was 7-6. And if I'm not mistaken, the Leafs made it 7-5. We're like, oh, hooray, they got the insurance marker. And after they got the insurance marker, JVR scored his third goal of the game for the hat trick. And the whole building went, ooh. They ended up winning. I went to a Raptors game once where the other team hit a buzzer-beating 3, but the Raptors were up by 4. The reaction was very funny. Oh! Campbell saying that puck hit the mesh. Ref saying it didn't, and Campbell's stick is well behind the net. This is going to be a problem. Justin Hall's got to be careful to not take a penalty there in the corner. Puck behind the net, or on net. Jack Campbell with the stop. And tapping Justin Hall. Oh, boy. Exciting start to the third. We'll be right back. We're going to break. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Don't go away. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. We gotta look good. It's the third period here. As good as I can. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's much salvaging going on here. But I gotta be optimal. You know? If I'm a prospect who doesn't have a high ceiling, I have to at least touch that low ceiling. You know what I mean? Like I'm in a house in Europe. Sorry, I have in-laws in Scotland, and every time I go to their houses, I'm like, what is this, built for ants? My chest gets a great shower. Always have a very clean chest when I'm in Scotland. Get him. Crouch down
on the season because he can
as I eat the world supply of fried food. You ever have a good scampi? As long as we're waiting for the tie-breaking goal here, Haggis gets a bad rap. Puck wide of the net. All I'm saying is I like it.
Back to the line, that shot. They've hit Keats parked in front. David Camp ahead.
Does Jack Campbell look good or what?
Camp,
like this has been
together. That's the
an average Jack Campbell game, I would say.
Third line
he's been good. Wow, what a move! Oh, Cam Atkinson just, I think, should he go to the box? 2 minutes for tripping himself? Oh, man. How don't the Flyers have the lead right now? Just 7 minutes into this third period. Here come the Leafs, counterattack. Matthews has not had the greatest game. I'm looking for him to come alive here in the third period. Great read. Here he comes. They got the big line back together. Marner, that pass was a little too hard for him to handle. He gets it back. Ring around the rosy. Hall's going to go to the back of the net for Matthews. Oh, stop by Hart. Hart's been good. He hasn't been as busy as Campbell, but he's made some good stops. Ooh! Oh!
Hayes gets involved in the celebration.
Yeah, I'd be mad too. I'd be mad too.
Well, reunited for this third, and this is what you've been watching from this duo all year.
Marner just sent the entire Philadelphia Flyers roster to the shadow realm, and then fed Austin for maybe the easiest goal of his NHL career, including empty netters. Look at this, look at this, look at this.
He just freezes Carter Hart. I mean, you have to respect.
Oh, man.
Marner's been scoring.
Oh, man.
22 in the last 32 games, so you go down, you commit, and now it's the patience
flawless
of Marner,
victory.
A little kick out.
I gotta see, what did Hayes get mad at Bunting for?
The most important thing is Hayes gets right in the middle of going after Bunting.
What happened there?
What Kyle was just earlier talking about.
And so that's just allowed then.
That's
fine.
Cross
check. Not during gameplay. It's fine. Just allowed. It's the NHL, don't worry about it.
Extends his point streak to 9. It's an unofficial point streak for Matthews, but it has been.
Instead of the no words campaign, you know that video that always circulates before every playoff or before every Stanley Cup final? Just why not the NHL? Don't worry about it.
Austin Matthews.
We don't care about the rules, and neither should you. That's what they tell their audience every single time NHL teams take the ice.
250 used to be an important milestone back.
Oh, they managed the game, man. You just don't understand.
Finished with 250 goals in his career.
I think you understand what rules are.
Eric Nestorenko. And Austin Matthews has hit 250 here, and now within 3 of the Leaf single season record. Engvall across. Here's Giordano in front, and Mikheyev shot was
so now with just over 9 minutes remaining, the Leafs take the lead.
7:41, the time of the go-ahead goal, as the Leafs have their
Mitch Marner. Mortal Kombat. Shang Tsung. Your soul is mine. He shadow realmed the entire Flyers roster. And Matthews, who has been on the ice for a couple goals for the Flyers, and has not had the greatest game of his career, let's face it, has what is currently the game-winning goal. And remember what I said the final score would be? Holding on would be quite nice. The Leafs getting more goals would also be quite nice. I would like to see the Leafs hold the fort for Jack. Who doesn't love a good narrative? Or Matthews can get a hat trick. That's cool. Good job by Lyubushkin to not panic there. Are the Leafs getting a penalty? Yeah, I thought they might. Justin Hall. He's been taking far too many penalties recently.
When you give the puck to Mitch Marner, you're so dangerous by finding the open seam. Watch Matthews get away from traffic, take a little step back, now you're ready to shoot. And that's one of his hallmarks of what he's been able to do so effectively.
Just no reaction in the face. Okay, so that little hit there, I don't know what they're talking about in the broadcast because, again, I can't hear it. Hall has been playing some of his best hockey recently, but he's been taking far too many penalties. And something to watch with him, he does a little bit of the... It's not quite as blatant as PK Subban, but he does a little bit of the accidental slew foot. The accidentally on purpose slew foot. I don't necessarily think he's trying to do it. It'd be dumb if he was.
Keep that momentum going and don't give them anything.
Oh, 2-on-2, almost a 2-on-1. Leafs love a good scare tactic on the penalty kill. Producer Rob in my ear. Austin Matthews is the 10th player in Leafs history to score 250 goals. That's so ridiculous. He was drafted in 2016. It's 2022. Stop that. He's had 2 seasons shortened by COVID. He missed like 20 games with wasn't it a shoulder injury? Absolutely astonishing, this player, man. He's the best player to ever play. Who's better? A bunch of you just shouted names and you're all wrong. Lyubushkin dumping his man in the corner. Oh! Oh, I miss you, JVR, with the between the legs, and it almost works. The Leafs have a 2-on-1. Engvall! Nice! Let's go! Oh, I can read lips, and I don't think that was a nice word. Pierre Engvall! Leafs back-to-back games with shorties, T-Pains, if you will. And this dude, with the best season of his career, just keeps chugging along.
The pass across and tries to clear it right into the body of Engvall.
Colin Blackwell with him, plays an excellent decoy. He was wide open too. Engvall is playing the best hockey of his career. That's a lot of net there by Carter Hart. That's a lot of net. Leafs now up 4-2. Leafs with their 12th shorthanded goal. Leads the entire league. Producer Rob, how many goals behind Austin Matthews is Pierre Engvall now? I'm kidding. That's a joke. Please don't. Please don't waste your time. Is it many? It's many.
Round it comes for Zach McEwen. Flyers trying to respond as the fourth line out scores.
Oh! Flyers put it on from the point, and it gets deflected. I was about to say, I don't know by who, and they definitely don't either. They're just, I don't know. 7:37 to go in the third. The Leafs just gained a 2-goal lead and just had it cut to 1. Flyers throw it on. Wasn't really a screen. Provorov must have been a tip. Yes, it was.
It's not even going to be McEwen. I thought McEwen got a piece of it with his stick. Watch the box out by Camp.
Producer Rob, you didn't have to do that. Pierre Engvall is now 39 goals behind Austin Matthews for this season. I meant career.
Provided what looked like it might be the insurance marker on the night.
Don't, Producer Rob, you are too busy to be looking up this nonsense. It's so much more. Exactly. Thank you. Please give up. I encourage it. At least 2-on-1. Kerfoot. Stopped by Carter Hart. Kerfoot hunting down his man. Watch the penalty there, Kerf. Oh, someone's hurt there on the Flyers. I saw them not even skating. I thought there was a whistle that I had missed.
With under 7 minutes to go here in the third.
You know what? For two teams who don't really care about each other and are in very different spots in the standings, this has not been the kindest and gentlest game, has it? Marner got deked pretty good there by Provorov, but they break out. Is this a 3-on-1? Sure is. The top line. Just shoot it. One of you. Oh, my God. That won't count as a shot on goal. Matthews.
That goes up. Provorov. Riley back to Marner. His shot. Carter down. Hart down.
Hey! Morgan. Riley, I believe. Sorry, a few guys in that line have 4 as their second number and an A. It's difficult to tell. Leafs regain the 2-goal lead. I'll be okay. Michael Bunting hitting the side of the net there. I'm so glad the Leafs scored on this shift. I was low-key mad. So I believe that was the point shot by Marner. I think it gets tipped by Bunting and then buried by Riley. So this will go down as Riley from Bunting and Marner for fantasy purposes.
Another 2-point game for Mitch Marner.
Just over 6 minutes to go. Campbell. That's a juicy rebound, buddy.
In 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
He stopped 27 of 30 so far. That's not a bad night so far. But his hardest, most difficult work is upcoming. He's got to shut this down. He's got to park the bus. We're going to get a commercial break here. So I believe we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, the Leafs try to defend a 2-goal lead. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Producer Rob, we were in the middle of a bunch of stuff, but I believe, was it 229 career goals behind for Pierre Engvall? That's how many goals behind. Dude, stop wasting your time. 229 confirmed by producer Rob. So silly. So silly. Leafs with just minutes to kill in this game and a 2-goal lead.
Watching it has felt like a special time, hasn't it?
There's a blast there.
Good opportunity for the Flyers there, but they flub it. Riley Loki getting a decent amount of goals lately after a pretty dry spell. He was getting his assists. He was definitely getting his cookies. But the puck wasn't going in. And don't look now, but he might hit double digits again. Just a real consistent offensive player in this league from the back end. People talk about his deficiencies in his own end, but I think he more than makes up for it. Not to mention, in his tenure with the Leafs, he's had 49 defense partners. Under 5 minutes to go here. Leafs 5, Flyers 3.
Under 5 minutes to go, and it's chipped back into Philly ice.
There goes Engvall, currently with the game-winning goal.
Morgan Riley has 3 points and now has 58 on the season. His career high 72. Pass played by Hayes off the boards. And now kicked back by Attard. Onto the right side, it's Konechny. Hayes tried to drop it back, and Nylander there.
Sorry, sometimes I forget I'm streaming.
Onto it again.
And I just watch in nervous silence. Snipe! Oh! Oh, man. Way to get out of that slump there, JT. Oh, what's that? What's that? He's been like one of the hottest players on the team for several weeks now. Tavares is not afraid of the muck. He just battles, snipes. It's a real shame. Carter Hart's been having a good game, man. He's been having a good game, and boy, is it falling apart here in the third. Now 6-3 Leafs.
This little move there. Okay, you're in your first game. You overplayed.
Surely. I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. 4 minutes to go here. 6-3 Leafs. My bet on the under is...
As the Leafs explode here in the third.
It's dead and buried.
Back comes Farabee looking in front. Gates a whack at it, but he was tied up. Marner back on the ice with Matthews.
I'm going to throw this out there. The Leafs could have back-to-back 7-3 wins.
And there was Tavares with Nylander again.
I'm surprised no one said anything to Matthews about that. Up 3, and he's poking at the goalie. Granted, the puck was there.
Yeah, look what's coming up on Monday, Tuesday. Only a couple of big games.
Got to be careful. It's the NHL. People have gotten grumpy for less. And I believe the Leafs are about to...
Really interested to hear what Sheldon Keefe has to say about his line.
No, the Flyers were offside. That's what happened. Leafs fourth line out there. Let's get one for the kid. Get one for Abruzzese. If you can't get him a goal, get him an assist. Get him a point. Let's put a tape on puck. Let's put some tape on a puck. A tape? Yeah, let's put a VHS tape on a puck. I'll be okay. Wow! Oh, Labushkin got sent flying. Oh, and we got a fight. Simmons gets his fight. And it's against McEwen. Whoa! Oh!
And being broken up in the first period.
This guy has some granite uppercuts. My goodness!
McEwen didn't want to go there. Now a 6-3 game, and he was backing off. But for Simmons, you know that's
Wayne Simmons
he's been looking for all night long.
With some major daddy's home energy in this game. A goal, a fight, and I would say a pretty decisive win in that fight. Do you think he misses playing in that building? Goodness gracious. I love him on the Leafs. I would like him to stay a member of the Leafs. He's still got another contract year with the Leafs. He's got another year with the Leafs. But part of me wonders, like, he's going to get a ceremony in Philadelphia one day. You know? I don't think they're gonna. I mean, they're not gonna retire his number, but if you're a Flyers fan, like, who are you cheering for in that fight? Was it McEwen? That's my first question. My second question is, are you sure? I don't know if I believe you. Man, people have been hammering Simmons lately. Guy hasn't scored in 32 games. Scores. Guy doesn't even fight anymore. Fights. Destroys the guy. McEwen. How big is McEwen? That dude's enormous. We're looking this up. We're looking this up right now. I can't hide the fact that I have a tear coming from my eye. It's not because I love Wayne Simmons so much. It's because I'm battling just the worst allergies in the world. Okay, McEwen, according to HockeyDB, is 6'3", 205. And I'm here to tell you that's a lie. Stop. He's taller and heavier than that. He's from Charlottetown, PEI? Neat. There can't be a ton of NHL players from PEI. Not currently. All right, under 3 minutes to go here. Jack Campbell in his first game back in a while, looking to secure his first win in a while.
Yeah, I think you got to take that approach.
Oh. 2.5 minutes to go. The Leafs could still possible. They could win back-to-back games 7-3. I need some nerd. No, Rob, not you. I need some nerd to look up if the Leafs have ever done that. And right now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, I bet they did in the 80s. There's a high stick. Yeah, here's the thing. There was a lot of scoring in the 80s, but you're also forgetting the Leafs were bad. Ooh, that's an interesting out-of-town scoreboard. Habs and Lightning tied in the third period. Interesting for playoff positioning. Last I checked, the Leafs were second in the Atlantic Division. What? That's not too many men. You shut up. That's not too many men. The Leafs could have gained ground on the Florida Panthers tonight, but the New Jersey Devils screwed that up pretty thoroughly. Again, if you missed the earlier part of the stream, the Devils were up 6-2 today. And they lost. Florida came all the way back. A minute to go. 2-on-2 here. Ooh, Kerfoot just couldn't sneak that through. I need the Leafs to get one more for my stupid nerdy stat. Let's go. Let's go. 45 to go. I mean, I wouldn't hang this win in a museum. But was I right or was I right? The Leafs didn't have their soundest game. Very sloppy at times. But as what should be the better team, they had to come out in the third and dominate. What did they do? There was a moment where they pulled away and never looked back. 3, 2, 1. We won't get back-to-back 7-3 wins, but Leafs win 6-3 over the Philadelphia Flyers. Break out your cliches. There's a big 2 points. The Leafs win Nick Abruzzesi's first NHL game, and Jack Campbell with his first win in like a month, I believe. That was fun. Is this your first watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle? How did it go? In your opinion? In your opinion? I need to know. I need you also to click like and to click subscribe and to tell all your friends. From Ella in the chat, who has been the best player tonight? That's a strange one because I feel like I'm not going to say anyone looked bad, but a lot of Leafs took turns playing as the least effective version of themselves. Matthews looked terrifying for both sides at times. I'm going to give it to Jack. There were a couple moments, especially in the first period, where the game could have really got away from the Leafs and forced them to play some fire wagon hockey. And he just didn't allow that to happen. I'm going to say Jack. Question from Jack. Do you have any fun food takes? I hate bell peppers. I don't know why. That's not a take. It's just like if I try to eat bell pepper, like green pepper, red pepper, orange pepper, yellow. My gag reflex actually just. I like spicy food though. It's not that I think those peppers are spicy. It's that I think they taste like despair. That's not a take. That's just my body reacts to those foods, alleged foods, like they're poison. Right? Oh, even thinking about it. Give me a chili. Give me a jalapeno. Give me a little habanero or some ghost pepper action. I can do all that. I don't know how I'll handle it, but I can do all that. I could sooner eat a ghost pepper than I could eat a green pepper. That's the truth. A friend of mine, Jesse Blake, says that chicken on pizza is disgusting. And I think that's super aggressive. I think that's really aggressive. It's not my favorite pizza topping, but gross. I think it's a lot like ice cream, man. People talk about, rum raisin. Oh, bad ice cream flavors. There are no bad ice cream flavors. Stop it. It's ice cream. It's ice cream. You have to go out of your way to make a bad ice cream flavor. None of the ones they make on purpose are bad. Stop that. Sorry, what's disgusting, Producer Nick? You're wrong. Whatever you just said, you're wrong. Chicken on pizza is disgusting, says Producer Nick. Where did this come from? What I don't get. Okay, so Jesse said that. My podcast co-host Adam also said it, like, passionately. And then I show it to my wife, and I was like, can you believe this? And she's like, it is disgusting. I'm like, what? We live together. We're married. That being said, I'm not going to order chicken on pizza because it's not the best option, but like to declare it disgusting is wrong. Also, okay, this is my maybe hot food take. Pink is the best kind of icing. It could taste the same as blue or yellow or whatever. For some reason, pink, like a pink sugar cookie. Am I about to order a pink sugar cookie? It's the best. It's the best kind. I'm going to leave it at that. Leafs, big win. Hooray. Nick Abruzzese had some good shifts, had the one not so good shift. That's about all you could expect out of a first career NHL game. Jack Campbell returning to the lineup, winning, looking good while winning, and best of all, not getting injured. Big fan. Thought that was super dope, super cool. It's a good win. So we will be back next week. I don't know who the Leafs play. Ooh. Next week, April 9th, playing the Montreal Canadiens. I'm sad. We only got 3 Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangles left this regular season. Don't know what the playoff plans are. I hope they're like last year's playoff plans. but I have not spoken to anybody about that on account of it's not the playoffs yet. Leafs play Montreal next week, April 9th. Ottawa, April 16th. Florida, April 23rd. And then they play the Bruins on the 29th, but that's a Friday. It's not a Saturday. That is the final game of the season on a Friday. I know it's a little strange, but that's because May, boom, second it begins, Stanley Cup playoffs begin. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like the stream. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Leafs win, and Jack Campbell is back.